Hey coin collectors, Dan the Collecting Man here. Today I want to talk about silver and my predictions for 2024. Where do I think the price is going to head? What are some of the key indicators that we need to look at throughout the last year just to see how precious metals is potentially going to perform this year as well. And also gold as well. Where do we think that's going to go? Because at the moment gold is at an all-time high. Absolute banger time to have some gold. But silver hasn't really moved much over the last year. So if we look at how silver went in 2023, we started off in Australia at $34.64. And it's now trading around $35.25. So 60 cents improvement over the year. So not much, only a little improvement, but it moved around a lot. So if you look at the chart, some massive lows at $31.26 and a massive high at $39. So that's a massive near $8 difference from the high and low just throughout the year as well. So definitely been kind of a turbulent year, but it kind of just overall stayed very similar as well. Where gold was very different in that regard. So gold started at $2,755 and ended at $3,077. So all-time high record for an end of the year as well, with a high at $31,790. So that's more than $400 up on the start of this year. So definitely a massive increase when it comes to gold as well. So definitely a good time to hold a bit of gold right now. Definitely happy to have some in my collection. But what does that tell me personally? It tells me that silver is potentially undervalued. So given that silver didn't move that much, normally silver kind of does go along with gold a little bit. It's always a bit falling behind, but it does fall down a little bit. I think it's definitely give me a good indication that it may be a good time to look into getting some more silver as well. Another one is platinum as well. So platinum started off at 1,566 and ended it down to 1,406. So lost $106 over the year as well. So platinum's definitely not trending in the right direction. So very opposite to when it comes to gold and silver. But it did have a high of 1,746. So very big difference. That's nearly $340 difference from where it ended to the high of platinum as well. So platinum is definitely a strange one to own from that perspective as well. So some people like it, some people don't. Personally, I don't own any, but I'm definitely looking to get some this year because it's technically a rarer metal than gold. It is harder to get than gold, but definitely from a value point of view is way undervalued from that point of view as well. So definitely would be pretty unique to get some and add it to the collection as well, but definitely something I'm not planning on getting much, maybe a couple of ounces at best as well. So one thing I really like to look at is a thing called gold-silver ratio. So what that looks at is the cost of gold versus the cost of silver. So it kind of gives you how many ounces of silver do you need for 1 ounce of gold. So it's a really good calculation. So the year started at $75, so you need 75 ounces of silver to get to 1 ounce of gold, and it's ended at 86, which is a very high number as well. So for me, anything over 80 is a time to really look into silver. That means silver's undervalued. So it's definitely at 80 right now, or 86 right now. It's definitely means that silver's definitely got some room to grow and time to improve as well. If it's below 60, I normally focus on gold. So that's definitely a time to look into getting some gold and focusing more on your gold end as well. And if it's between 60 and 80, that's a good time to get a little bit of both. So definitely time to diversify as well. So that to me is the best. You can have a look at the charts and everything else, but it's that silver gold ratio, easy to find. I'll put a link down below of the page that I use to look at that ratio. And it definitely helps you to understand what the probably best time to get gold or silver is. And and there where we think it's going to go as well. So another thing to look at as well is silver is half of its all-time high, so which is crazy to think, where gold is now at its all-time high. Never been any better to have a bit of gold, but silver is still got a long way to go. So very questionable, the fact that why is silver so low and still got so much room to grow as well. So definitely for me that gives another indication that there is some room to move as well. And silver hasn't really changed as much. So if you look at it the last few years, silver's been quite stagnant compared to some of the other metals as well. Another key indication, some of the things I'm going to be looking at this year is will rates stay the same or will the rates go down? So that's when rates go down, that can be a good thing for the metals as well. So when rates go down, that means there's going to be more loans, more cash, which creates more inflation, which gives you a weaker dollar. And then when you have a weaker dollar, that's definitely a good time for gold and silver. So they're the indications that we normally look at when it comes to silver as well. And there's apparently a 70% chance of a rate cut in March, and in June a 50% chance of a rate cut. So this is going off the US data specifically, because the US data probably impacts the silver value the most worldwide, where countries like Australia and that won't impact the silver value as much as the US as well. So it has the chance to look like it could be a good year over time as well. Another things to look out for is next year we're going to have a US election, this year we're going to have a US election as well. So election year can create a lot of uncertainty depending on who's running and how the whole election's going. Obviously there's scams that get brought out as well. There's a lot of bad talk and a bit of fear mongering as well from one politician to another to try and put the other politician down, which can create a lot of uncertainty within the market, and people do get a little bit more concerned around how things are going to go as well. You often see that also in the stock market as well. So people often, depending on who's going to get in, they can be a bit concerned about their shares or not share investments as well. So people might want to turn to the metals as well, just to create a bit of security around that as well. So that's definitely something to consider as well. That we're probably going to have, or we definitely are going to have an election this year, but how that actually plays out as well. So it's also shown over history, over time, that silver does seem to go up when there is an election as well. So definitely potential another good indicator, adding in with the potential rate cuts as well, and silver currently being undervalued. Adding those three things gives me a little bit of confidence in that. So where do I think silver could end up? Personally, I think it could be around $42, around that kind of percentage. This is just my personal opinion, going off some of the things I've seen and the way I read the sheets personally myself. And I think gold will continue to be strong. I think gold will go up to 3,200. It's not going to go up massively, but it still will go up as well. So I think gold's definitely, like I said, it's at its all-time high, and I can't see it going down anytime soon. I think it's going to definitely continue its strong story that it's had. But I think silver, is going to be the year for it to shine as well. I think it's definitely really undervalued right now as a precious metal as well. And I think it's getting a little bit more attention as well. So that definitely helps with the silver value as well. So look to see how that goes as well. So I'd love you to put your prediction down the bottom as well to tell me what you think is going to happen with gold and silver and the precious metal markets as well. So I got my crystal ball out just to have a look and see how I think the year's going to go. And as you can see, there's plenty of silver and gold in there. So definitely just for a bit of fun, I think it's going to be a pretty banger of the year as well. Definitely looking forward to it and seeing how it all pans out as well. I'm really excited for 2024 for a silver point of view. I know personally for myself, I'm definitely going to be looking to get quite a bit of silver, but I'm also going to be getting some gold as well. Personally, I don't think I've got enough gold in my collection, as well. So even though the price is high, we always know that it's going to potentially go up over time, and it's always a good asset to have as well. Same as silver as well. So I think no matter what, as long as you cost dollar average and buy a little bit all the time, you're always going to go okay. You can never predict the dips, and you can never predict the future as much as I like to pretend that I can predict the future and see how it's going to go and where to head. We all know that many people have tried to predict it as well. So, and no one's ever got it right, because there's so many different key factors into the prices of silver and gold and all those different things as well. And if I was able to predict it, I don't think I'll be doing YouTube videos right now. I think I'll be doing something a bit more cooler, relaxing on a beach somewhere as well. So please don't forget to subscribe if you want more content on coin collecting. Thanks so much for watching and joining the coin collecting community. Also to note that this video is for informational purposes only and is not intended to be personal financial advice. It's just my personal opinion. I'm just someone that really loves coin collecting and silver and gold and bullion as well. See you on my next video. Dan.